Well, hey y'all, happy Monday. Well, I'm out here in the garden where it's chilly and damp as all get out after another long bit of rain. I haven't, or rather my husband Dale hasn't had to water in weeks just because the beds are so wet. Everything's so wet, even the grass is growing in the middle of the winter. So we're gonna have a little tour, and we've just got a couple of weeks left in December, so it's time to start talking about getting some transplants going for January. So I'm gonna chat with you a little bit about the seeds that I got from the Great American SeedUp, because I never have went over those seeds with you. And then we're going to look a little bit at the wish book that every gardener should wish comes for them around Christmas, and we'll chat a little bit more about seeds and seed buying. So let's check out the tour. Okay, so over here at bed one, we're actually seeing some, real happiness out of that broccoli, like Robbie or something like that. I'm getting ready to cut down this tomato. Even though it's still prolific, I don't know if you can see, like right here, there's like a little black speck, and I found it on several tomatoes that I was looking over, and that to me says that it's starting to get sick. And I think if I take, it out, then that will get more light. And this tree back here is getting ready to drop pods, and I'm also gonna trim it up a lot this week because I don't want the pods to drop, and I want some more light coming into this bed. The loofah is, trying its best, but obviously it's sick in a lot of places, even though it keeps making flowers. So I think it needs to go as well. And then the oregano is kind of slowly coming back. I don't think it likes the cold that much. But the mint, she just don't care. She loves it all. I'm getting ready to trim back on these kales a little bit just to push them to start. Now, I've got some unfortunate news here with the okra. We were trying to let it go on so that the pods could just, dry on the plant. But I think between the cold and the how much moisture has been out here, these are just rotting now. And so we're about to cut that down as well as the tomato, and then we'll see if some of these things can get a little bit more light. These calendula have just been seeding themselves over and over, and so even in spite of the little bit of grass that's in there, they just really keep doing their own thing. Some of the edibles have made it down here. That's a Cosmo coming in. The peas are real happy, but again, this has stayed so wet from all the rain. These peas over here, this one's ready to start climbing. So I think I'm going to come in on the other side and sow a little bit more, because you can just keep sowing those. The beans are really kind of looking a little sickly, even though there's lots of pods full and some weird flowers. But I think the flowers are just probably from it getting so warm in the last week or so. And then we still got plenty of little flower seedlings coming up, and there's a nasturtia. We're finally getting some action down here with the broccoli, and if you don't know, you can continuously harvest your broccoli pieces as they come along, and then your plant will keep producing. And all of these leaves are edible, and soon I'm going to harvest some just to kind of see what that's like and share with you how I cook it. That cauliflower is looking great. That one's really blown up from last week, and that one's getting fuller down there too. I'm super excited to see these little buds popping out on the Brussels sprout, because those are the Brussels sprouts. So she didn't get terribly tall, but you know what? If we get Brussels sprouts, even one each, we'll be happy. And this cauliflower up here is doing well too. And that's probably the smallest and slowest one of the cauliflower. But the broccoli, cauliflower, brassica family are happy. I noticed this what is this? This collard is looking really happy. This is funny because this is a cauliflower from that same group of cauliflower over there, and you see how little sun it gets and how hard it's competing. We had to get these peppers picked because there's a lot of them and they're kind of big. Those are actually starting to look as big as poblanos. I love using these Swiss chard leaves to like make little roll-ups, like for a sandwich, maybe some tuna salad, or if you eat chicken salad. Kale's looking happy. And we got lots of peas growing up here in the back. And even though I trimmed that mustard, it's just really bushed back, so it's time to give it another haircut. This bed is finally, last week with getting up into the 70s, we finally start to see everything come out. So over here is red romaine that I need to thin. This is spinach, and then I can't remember, one is dill and one is cilantro. I think that's cilantro, but everything's starting to come out in this bed. Well, now I've come inside where it's quite a bit warmer, and since we got our tree up this weekend and we only have a couple more weeks till it won't be with us anymore, I thought I'd come in and visit with you in here. So I recently got my Baker Creek Seeds catalog, and this is actually kind of like their smaller catalog. They have an even bigger one that I got last year. And the one thing that I'm really curious about, of course I will read this from front to back, but it's the peanuts. Because you can grow peanuts, and I've got some friends better in suburbia. I'm pretty sure they've grown some peanuts, and I'm not sure what their success is, but I think that's something pretty fun and a little scary because it's another one of those things that grows underneath the ground, so you just have to roll the dice on how it turns out. But that's something I'm really interested in. But their pictures are phenomenal, and they've got great descriptions. And even though I really love getting my seeds from the native seed store or from the Great American SeedUp, it's really fun to branch out and try some other seeds from some different companies. And you just have to be careful and use your best judgment on how well that's actually going to do for you here in the low desert. And just think about the growing times, you know, like how long we've got till it gets super hot. Now let's chat with you. I want to chat with you about what I got at the Great American SeedUp, and I'm gonna try and make this quick so it's not long and drawn out. And so I guess I'll start with what I got for this season, what I've got for next season, and what is going into my seed bank. Okay, so for this season, I just picked up, because I was committed to not buying anything that I already had. So two things I picked up were the purple Vienna kohlrabi, and I got some pak choi Chinese cabbage. And I've got some of the kohlrabi going out there, but I don't have any of the pak choi, but maybe I can get some in before it's all said and done. And then in the past, all of my Swiss chard was from transplants that I got at Summerwinds, but I actually, all the Swiss chard that's out there right now is actually seeds that I got from the Great American SeedUp. So that's what I got for this this season right here. I also got what I have left of flowers that need to be planted are this mixed variety of zinnias. Then I've got, I guess this is really this season. I don't know why I'm always hoarding carrots, because I've never had any real good success with it. But I obviously have intentions to have good success with it. Now, I seriously went a little crazy with tomato seeds. And I don't have any clue how many of these I will plant, because I obviously have tons of other tomato seeds. But just real quick, I'm going to run through what we've got. So we loved the Great White last year, even though we didn't get a whole bunch. The ones that we had, we super loved. So I've got that. I've never heard of the Flora Dade. That's supposed to be a large determinant. Then I've got a black crim. I got the yellow pear, because everybody I know that has this did really well with it, and they just did even better the hotter that it got. Then I got a white wonder, I got a mortgage lifter, and I got an Amish paste. I also, in kind of the melon gourd family, I got some crimson sweet. I don't think we've ever grown anything but just like the personal melons, and those were just some seeds that I got from the big box store, so I'm curious to try these out. And then I got some loofah seeds because the loofah seeds that I had were given to me. I only had a couple, so I wanted to get some more because I really want to go gangbusters with loofah this year. And I have no clue why I picked up some okra, because I'm pretty sure I've got this exact strain already, but I got some okra as well. And then I got some beans. Now I already have Aussie beans, and even though I've just totally failed with those so far, I keep wanting to try and give these Aussie beans another chance. Then I got these scarlet runner beans, and I don't know if you can tell, they've got a really pretty color to them, kind of like a pink purple. And it's interesting because it says here that it makes large showy flowers. You can eat them as green beans, or you can let them dry out. They're rapid climbers, and they're a hummingbird favorite. And we've got lots and lots of hummingbirds out there, so hopefully I can get some success with this. And then I got some just black beans because I really want to tone up my bean growing this year. Now, for what's going in my seed bank, the first thing is some gold batten 8-row corn. This is a corn that I don't have, but one day when we have our land, we definitely are going to be doing corn. Now, a couple of things that are going into my seed bank are wheat. Now, I already have a Sonoran white wheat, and I got into a conversation with Bill Dorman at the Great American SeedUp, and he was chatting with me about how you could grow enough wheat in 100 square foot to feed a family. So I picked up the Bluebeard Durham wheat, and then I got a white elkhorn. I guess I got 2 white elkhorns because I think he said this one was really good for making breads. It says it's the world's original wheat. It's been cultivated for more than 10,000 years. And inkhorn is gaining popularity because the flavor and higher levels of proteins and nutrients. It prefers sun and adapts to a wide range of soil. So when we get a little bit more space, I'm pumped to grow some of our own wheat. So that's what I got at the Great American SeedUp. Now, I chatted with you about how it's almost time to get going for what we want to get started for the spring. Now, that's really important for us here in the low desert because we've got the planting time coming in around March, April, depending on how the frost goes. But then we're in a battle with the sun and the heat and the temperatures for what we can get going off. And last year I was so on my transplants. I really need a light. And my friend Sydney over at the Naked Gardener has been showing his little seedlings that he's got a lot of different things going. So I asked him about his lights, and he told me they're a 4-foot light that he got at Walmart for like $25. So I'll burden going to Walmart to pick that up. And then I've got that shelf in there. I don't know if you remember, it's black, and that's always has been my intention to use that as a grow shelf. So I'm gonna get that fashioned up and get a good start on my seedlings. So if we look at, the planting chart here, you'll see that almost everything that you'd want to be growing in the summer, like your peppers, your tomatoes, see, it says to do tomato transplants into your garden February, March, and February and all throughout March. So that lets us know that we need to have those transplants ready to go before then. So that's why here in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be getting my soil ready, I'm gonna be getting the lights ready, and I'm really gonna go, headlong into producing some really good transplants for myself. In March also is when the sweet potatoes will be going in. So that's why right now I've got a good head start on 2 months of getting my slips going. So if you wanna grow sweet potatoes this summer, I definitely recommend picking up some organic sweet potatoes from Sprouts or Whole Foods, even fried. wise, you know, it doesn't matter. I just definitely recommend they be organic. Get that going in some water so that your slips will be ready to start going in March, because they can go in starting in March all the way out to June, but I really think it's going to be best the earlier that you can get them in. For me, I'm probably going to focus on at first getting my tomatoes going. That's my priority, is to get my seedlings going for my tomatoes, and then I'll probably move to cucumbers, and then loofah, some melons, and then squash, and just kind of stack them out like that, and how I grow them. But I'm curious about what you're thinking about for your spring garden, because we're totally going to be changing it up. You know, I found some beds that I'm totally in love with, and I'm going to be reaching out and working on getting those arranged. And then, but like I said, because we're kind of setting up for an 18-month window of where we want to be going, we're kind of transitioning our beds in that direction. So that's another reason why, for me, I really have to be thinking forward of what I want to do in my garden. So even though you might be caught up headlong into the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, I can't encourage you enough to start, even in the back of your mind, just thinking about what you might want to get going for your spring and summer low desert garden. And I want to thank you so much for checking in with us today. I hope you're having the best day ever, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.